Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you are meant to be, to make more money than you ever thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire. Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and you're watching Hump Day Q&A. So I'm really fired up because I've got a great question here from today. So the question is from Kyle J. And before I dive into the question, just want to make sure that everyone knows that the way that we're handling these is that if you go to lifeonfirequestions.com, you can submit anything that's on your mind, anything that you'd like to have us answer. We don't answer all of them per se, but we're picking and choosing some really cool questions, and we're airing them on Hump Day Q&A. So head over there if you have things you want to, things you'd like to ask me, and we'd be more than happy to take a look and might get aired too. So, so this question this week is from Kyle J. So he's saying, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars paying to get certified as a life coach, and I have absolutely no real experience or customers. I'm a little freaked out to get started. Please help. All right, so what's cool about this is that if you're in a spot where you're looking to become a coach or a consultant, or if you're looking to start any new business, the biggest thing that's going to hold you back, the biggest even if it's not even a business, it could be starting, a new job. It's always about fear, right? So he's got the training, and now the next step is to go out and actually implement it to do it. And so one of the biggest problems I see as a business coach is that many of my clients will spend so much time getting excited and buying information products and buying courses, but when it comes time to actually get rolling, there's the fear. Now, the fear gets rooted from way back. I mean, you're talking about the fear of failure, the fear of being embarrassed if it doesn't work. There's so many emotions that happens to us, and it's a very natural thing. So I want to make sure that I help you overcome that fear, and not only overcome it, but get started and get profitable fast in your new business. So for me, when I got started, just to share a little story, is that when I got started, I had been coming off a business that had failed. So I had this great business I loved, but I ended up losing everything because of a trademark issue, because of advertising that went wrong, right? So that whole story is why I got into Facebook marketing. And where I was the fact that I had about $30,000 in debt, plus I spent about an additional $20,000 buying information products, buying courses, and getting training on online marketing. So all of a sudden I hit this point where I was $50,000 in debt, and it was the first time in my life I wasn't sure how I was going to pay my bills. I mean, I literally was freaking out. I was going to bed at night where I couldn't sleep, tossing, turning, thinking about how am I going to pay my bills next month? And I was selling real estate on the side. I had the dream of being an entrepreneur still in me, but I had all this debilitating, crushing debt. And what happened for me is I hit the breaking point. So, and for you, Kyle, what I would say is if you can avoid being up against the wall to that level, you want to use the strategies I'm going to share with you just to get rolling right away, because the worst thing that can happen is you end up in a spot like I did where you're that far in debt. So for me, it's up against the wall, and it was either sink or swim. It was the first time in my entire life where I legit did not know how I was going to pay my bills. And I looked at it and I was so freaked out and scared, and I looked at it and said, I have to go out and get customers in this Facebook marketing business, or else for the first time in my life, I won't be able to pay my bills. And so that was how I started to take action. That was what I needed, right? So the whole thing is that in that spot, I got some really good advice from a buddy. The advice was that if you're going to start a business as a coach or a consultant, all you have to do is coach people that know less than you. That's it. It doesn't have to be complicated, because some people say, looked at me and said, as I started with Facebook marketing, they thought, Nick, who are you to be a Facebook marketing consultant? Like, who the heck are you to just go out and do that? And I said, you know what? First of all, I didn't care what they thought of me. Second of all, I didn't even have a Facebook personal profile. My girlfriend at the time thought it was kind of hilarious that you're going to be a Facebook marketing consultant. You don't even have a Facebook personal profile. And I said, yeah, but I've bought thousands and thousands of dollars of courses. I know that I know more than somebody. So I just went out to find people that I knew more than, right? So I went out to local businesses and I focused on profit producing activities. And that is your first step of breaking through the fear, is you have to get into action as fast as humanly possible. And so you want to focus on profit producing activities. Now, what is that? What that means is simply if you're going through trainings, or if you're researching stuff, or you're working on the website, get rid of all that stuff. You don't need a website to get started. Right? We started Life on Fire without a website. We focused on profit-producing activities. So you got to get in front of your potential customers. In my case, I went straight into networking meetings, BNI meetings, just bni.com. I went straight into Chamber of Commerce networking meetings, and I got in front of potential prospects that were business owners, and I started offering free 30-minute consultations, because I needed to learn my customers. I needed to learn their challenges and frustrations, learn about them, and then build my trust with them so that they wanted to hire me. So imagine if I walked into a networking meeting and I said, gave my spiel about how I did Facebook marketing, and then I said to them, I'm offering today a free 30-minute strategy session, and at the end of it, I'm gonna write and make you a custom 2-page social media marketing plan. That was valuable. That allowed me to book appointments with people. I was doing between 5 and 10 of those a day. And when you have enough prospects like that and you're pounding the pavement, and you're getting in front of people, then it made it easy for me to close business. So the model is you just want to start by getting in front of people. You want to add value using something like a free strategy sessions to prove your worth, to prove your value to them. And then the key thing is that when you're doing those strategy sessions, there's a clear-cut format to it. So your goal is to add value for them as fast as you can, right? So you're going to ask them questions. You're going to figure out what their challenges and frustrations are, and then provide that solution for them. And I would literally tell them the exact strategy for Facebook marketing, exactly what they should do. And what would happen is by the end of it, they would say, Nick, I love what you're saying, but how do I actually do it? How do I implement it? And I said, well, listen, I just gave you the strategy. If you want me to implement it with you, and I'll actually build the stuff for you, then it's $200. I started small. I just needed to scratch and claw and get customers. If I started with pricing that was $5,000 or $10,000, I've charged as high as $35,000 with one customer, right? But you have to start where you just got to prove to yourself and build confidence. So I started really small. I'll never forget my first client. I drove halfway across freaking Connecticut, with Jack Cran, the dog trainer. I shot the guy on video with a flip camera. I built his Facebook page. I did so many things for him for $200, but I needed to get the monkey off your back. That's what I call it, is you've got to get that first customer, because that is your turning point. That's you breaking through the fear. As soon as you get the monkey off your back, get your first customer. The next step from there is it starts to get fun, right? So then once you know you can do it, you want to continue to get in front of customers, continue to put yourself in those profit-producing activities like free 30-minute strategy sessions, and then you're going to increase your prices as you go. Your mission as a coach, consultant, or in business in general is you have to get your value proposition down to a tangible number. So in this step, basically, I got it to a point where if I worked with someone and I could prove that in a 30-day period, I could help them make an extra $5,000, right? I could use that case study, that testimonial, to go and get more and more and more customers at that level. So your mission is get the customers in, do a great job for them, ask for referrals, and get to the next customer. So it's so important that you figure out what you're good at, help them get a tangible result. If you don't get them a tangible result, your business is going to take forever to grow. So now, as a business coach, to put it in a kind of another perspective, is that I charge $3,000 a month for our Firestarter Elite clients, but the expectation is by working with me, you're going to make an extra 6 figures, and I'll make damn sure of it. So I know that my value is 6 figures of value, and that's why I can charge so much. So your goal is to start small, build up the momentum, build up the progress, and go from there. Next little technique is that as you're doing this, you make sure that you ask for referrals. Even if the person doesn't buy, even if the person isn't a customer, it's okay. Ask for referrals. I used to get referrals to other people that wanted strategy sessions. And the last thing I'm going to share on this is find centers of influence. A center of influence is someone that isn't a direct customer, but instead there's somebody that can refer you business over and over and over and over. So what I did was, on one hand, I was looking for customers, right, in an ideal prospects, but on the other hand, I was actually looking for people that I could have a relationship that could refer me business. So I had a woman that was a merchant account rep that had hundreds of business owners in her territory. So every time she sold merchant services, she would mention and recommend me. So she referred me a BMW dealership in my first month. Lots of clients. So if you are, a realtor, for example, you want to buddy up with a home inspector, buddy up with a mortgage broker. You want to make sure that you're sharing those referrals back and forth as a center of influence. So my man Kyle, that just about wraps up how to get started as a coach, and just make sure that you connect to your greater reason why. So think about, why was it that you spent that money to get certified as a life coach? Is it to leave your job? Is it to put your kids through college? Get very clear and specific on that why. Allow that to motivate you to get that first customer, and then it becomes a lot of fun. It becomes a lot of fun when you get that first customer, get the monkey off your back, focus on profit-producing activities, and then just crush it. Surround yourself with great people. Stay plugged in with us. We're here to help, and I wish you all the success, my man. So good luck. Go out and crush it, and then come back and let us know how it's working. We'll see you soon. Cheers. Oh, and one last thing. For you guys watching this right now, be sure to check out lifeonfirecontest.com. We've got all kinds of crazy cool prizes this month and every month. So at the end of all of our shows, if you just think lifeonfirecontest.com, check out what's going on, whether that this show, you're catching it right after it airs, or a year from now, we're going to have lots and lots of cool prizes to give away. So lifeonfirecontest.com, get plugged in, check it out, and be sure to ask your questions for us as well. And have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And our goal is to help you set your life on fire.